Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaham. So we are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, the Pastimes of Lord Śrī Râmacandra. So we just started this chapter. Again, as we discussed, Lord Ram's pastimes are very deep and big, but this is a brief description. So anyone who didn't get chance yesterday wants to read?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, everyone. Text 3. Tasyanucharitam rajan rishibhish tattvadarshibhihi srutam hi varnitam bhuri tvaya sita patir muha. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai.
O King Parikshit, the transcendental activities of Lord Râmacandra had been described by great saintly persons who have seen the truth. Because you have heard again and again about Lord Râmacandra, the husband of Mother Sita, I shall describe these activities only
in brief.
Please listen.
Purport. Modern Rakshasas posing as educationally advanced merely because they have doctorates have tried to prove that Lord Râmacandra is not Supreme Personality of Godhead but an ordinary person. But those who are learned and spiritually advanced will never accept such notions. They will never accept the description of Lord Râmacandra and his activities only as presented by Tattvadarshis. Those who know the absolute truth. In Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 34th shloka, the Supreme Personality of God advises. Prabhuji, can you scroll down a little bit? Thank you. Tad vidhi parnipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshayanti jnanam jnanas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Unless one is Tattvadarshi in complete knowledge of the absolute truth, one cannot describe the activities of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, although there are so-called Ramayanas or history of Râmacandра's activities, some of them are not actually authoritative. Sometimes Lord Râmacandра's activities are described in terms of one's own imaginations, speculations, or material sentiments. But the characteristics of Lord Râmacandra should not be handled as something imaginary. While describing the history of Lord Râmacandra, Sukadeva Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit, "You have already heard about the activities of Lord Râmacandra. Apparently, therefore, 5,000 years ago, there were many Ramayanas or history of Râmacandра's activities, and there are many still. But we must select only the books written by Tattvadarshis, Jnaninas Tattvadarshinaha, not the books of so-called scholars who claimed knowledge only on the basis of doctorate." This is a warning by Sukadeva Goswami. Rishibhihi Tattvadarshibhihi. Although the Ramayanas composed Ramayana composed by Valmiki is a huge literature. The same activities are summarized here by Sukadev Goswami in a few verses. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you, Prabhu. So, I think yesterday I was mentioning the number of verses. Maybe I misspoke yesterday. I don't recall the number. I said a bigger number, but 24,000 verses in Valmiki Ramayana, which Prabhupada is quoting here. 24,000. So it's still voluminous. Bhagavatam has 18,000 and so many cantos, right? And it was Prabhupada's desire actually to translate and give purports to all of those verses. But, Krishna had a different plan. So, but his disciples and grand disciples are now continuing that. So out of the 7 khandas, Balakand, etc., I think 2 of them are already released, like in this format. That's what Prabhupada wanted, like every verse in Sanskrit, then the transliteration, the word-to-word meaning, the translation, purport, as per the Vaishnava Siddhanta, is now being, brought up by the wonderful devotees for all of us. So we must take advantage of this masterpiece of Valmiki Ramayana. And this verse, Muhuhu, more than often. That means he was always hearing again and again, since childhood, hearing about Lord Ram, Mata Sita, and all these pastimes. Therefore, Shukdev Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj in very brief. Since this dynasty conversation is happening, and now Lord Ram's came in that dynasty. So, but very important point here is how to approach Guru and whom do we learn from. Similarly, now these days and age, we can call, there you may find tons of things on YouTube, tons of books in the market, but they may not be authorized. They may not be by the Vaishnavas who are in authorized bona fide Guru Parampara. So we have to be a little careful these days, especially in the day of internet, and because there is so much stuff out there. So if you're not careful, then we can be, we may get distracted, and we will get out of track. Therefore, every day why we come here to read Prabhupada's books, because this is the fundamental. No devotee in ISKCON will disagree to this thing. That this is, there may be difference of opinion in other, here and there, whatever, but no one can disagree about the few basic things. The few basic things are the chanting of the holy name, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, serving the deities and the Guru, serving Vaishnavas, taking Krishna Prasad, not finding faults in others, hearing Krishna Katha, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Caritāmṛta. These are the core, they were the core, they are the core, they will remain the core. And if we always prioritize these, we will get to our destination. Bhakti is simple. But if we get distracted, then and get away from the core, then we will not get to the destination. Okay, so we have to always keep these things at the core and take shelter of bona fide spiritual master. 4.34. Learn from Tattvadarshi, Srila Prabhupada, and such great souls. Okay. Yeah, we can read maybe one more verse. Anyone who wants to read, didn't get a chance today or yesterday? Radha Mataji, do you want to read? Yes, Sharanya Mataji, please read. I just want to kind of thank Radha Mataji for joining. We are very grateful, Mataji, you are able to join us. You are a very sincere devotee and very, very inspiring. So I'm very grateful to you for very able to make to our Bhagavatam reading calls. Thank you so much. Whenever you feel comfortable, you can read, and so you can hear. So yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Guru arte tyakta rajo vyacharad anu vanam padma padvayam priyayaha pani sparshaksha sambhavyam mrujita pata rujo yo harindri yanu jabhyam Vairupaksh Churpanakya Priya Viraha Rusha Arpito Bruhu Vijramba Trastabdir Vadasetu Kala Dava Dahana Kosalendro Avatam Maha. Translation by Devandri Sesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. To keep the promise of his father intact, Lord Râmacandra immediately gave up the position of king and, accompanied by his wife, Mother Sita, wandered from one forest to another on his lotus feet, which were so delicate that they were unable to bear even the touch of Sita's palms. The Lord was also accompanied by Hanuman, or by another monkey, Sugriva, king of the monkeys, and by his own younger brother, Lord Lakshmana, both of whom gave him relief from the fatigue of wandering in the forest, having cut off the nose and ears of Shurpanaka, thus disfiguring her. The Lord was separated from Mother Sita. He therefore became angry, moving his eyebrows and thus frightening the ocean, who then allowed the Lord to construct a bridge to cross the ocean. Subsequently, the Lord entered the kingdom of Ravana to kill him. Like a fire devouring the forest, may that Supreme Lord Râmacandra give us all protection. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So this is an amazing verse. Pretty much the entire Ramayana is there. In this one verse, all the major pastimes. So each of these episodes can be discussed for hours and hours. So many lessons, so many insights. And but Shukdev Goswami is giving a very brief description because Parikshit Maharaj has been hearing Muhu again and again, all these pastimes. So we can also remember these pastimes in our heart, how the Lord Ram, such great quality. As I said, each of these can be a topic of discussion for hours. But we can remember this one verse and seek shelter of Lord Ram. May Lord Ram give us protection. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
Prabhuji, one question. In that second or third line, it was written that Sri Ramachandra's feet is so delicate that it could not bear the touch of Sita Mata. So what does that mean?
Yeah. So I heard from one devotee, I'm not able to exactly remember, when Sita Mata would press the feet of Lord Ram, they would sometimes turn red. So basically, this is the beauty of the Lord and the magnanimity of the Lord. For a pure soul, they are like softer than the softest. And for a demon, the same feet become harder than the hardest. Vajradapi kathorat kusumatapi komalat. Even the gopis say that Krishna, your lotus feet are softer than the softest part of our body, right? But the same lotus feet were like thunderbolt on Kaliya. So the Lord can be softer than the softest and harder than the hardest. As we approach him, he'll reciprocate accordingly.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any additions or comments? Okay, text number 5.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. May I read?
Yes, Mata, please.
Dhanvat Pranam, all devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text number 5. Vishwamitra Tareyena Mari Chatya Nishachara Pashyato Lakshmanasyaiva Hata Nairaratra Pungava. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In the arena of the sacrifice performed by Vishwamitra, Lord Râmacandra, the king of Ayodhya, killed many demons, rakshasas, and uncivilized men who wandered at night in the mode of darkness. May Lord Râmacandra, who killed these demons in the presence of Lakshmana, be kind enough to give us protection. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So here Sri Shukdev Goswami is telling us that when Vishwamitra Rishi performed the sacrifices, Lord Râmacandra was protecting it from the demons who were destroying it all the times. So that great merciful Lord Rama also protects us from all the evils and give us his protection. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nice. Again, as I said, all of these are very, very big pastimes in themselves. But we are just kind of, taking a bird's eye view or like a 10,000 feet view. And Prabhupada is also not sharing purports because each purport then could be like hundreds of pages, right? If we go in detail. A lot of devotees have given wonderful classes about Ramayana. There are like series, 10 classes, 15 classes, 5 classes. So many wonderful devotees. For Sri Vaishnava, that's their main book. Like ours is Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Sri Vaishnava Acharyas have written bona fide commentaries on Sri Valmiki Ramayana, which some of our devotees, ISKCON devotees, have also studied, and they also share some of the nectar from there as well. So, but again, we will keep it brief as per the mood here. So, but we can meditate upon these, that how Lord protected Vishwamitra Yagya Rakhavari. It's a very nice bhajan also. You may have heard this bhajan, Krishna Jinka Naam Hai, Gokula Jinka Dham Hai, Aise Shri Bhagavan ko mera barambar pranam hai. Ram Jinka Naam Hai, Ayodhya Jinka Dham Hai. ऐसे श्री राम को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है. Very similar bhajan talking about Krishna's, Lord Ram's name, form, qualities. Very nicely. Maybe we'll sing that towards the end of this chapter. So we all can sing that also once. Okay, so let's read the next 2 verses. Yes, Raman Prabhu, would you like to read? I think it's signed out. No, it's not. Who would like to read? Who has not yet read? Okay. Sampada, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, text 6 to 7. Yoloka vira samito tanur aisam ugram sita swayamvara grihe trisato panitam adaya bala gaja lila ivikshu yastim sachi kirtam nipa vikshriya Pabanja Mathe Jitvanurupa Gunasila Bhayo Angarupam Sita Bhidam Shiyam Urasi Abhilabdha Manam Marge Rajan Bhrigupater Vyanayat Prarudham Darpam Mahim Akritayastrir Araja Bijam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O King, the pastimes of Lord Râmacandra were wonderful, like those of a baby elephant. In the assembly where Mother Sita was to choose her husband in the midst of the heroes of this world, he broke the bow belonging to Lord Shiva. This bow was so heavy that it was carried by 300 men, but Lord Râmacandra bent and strung it and broke it in the middle, just as the baby elephant breaks a stick of sugarcane. Thus the Lord achieved the hand of Mother Sita, who was equally as endowed with transcendental qualities of form, beauty, behavior, age, and nature. Indeed, she was the goddess of fortune who constantly rests on the chest of the Lord. While returning from Sita's home after gaining her at the assembly of competitors, Lord Râmacandra met Parasurama. Although Parasurama was very proud, having rid the earth of the royal order 21 times, he was defeated by the Lord, who appeared to can you scroll down a little bit, Prabhuji? Thank you. Who appeared to be a Kshatriya of the royal order. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji, back to you. Please explain.
Thank you so much. Such a beautiful analogy is given here. Lord's pastimes are like those of a baby elephant. Thousands, hundreds of Kshatriyas, Yodha. This guy's Gauranga Prabhu was mentioning. They were required to lift the mighty bow of Lord Shiva. Just to lift from one place to the other. But the elephant just takes a sugar cane and breaks it into pieces and eats without effort. So that's how Lord lifted. And while stringing the bow, it broke. Like children sometimes break pencils and stuff, right? So without much effort or some other things, they break. The baby elephant. So such nice description. And then the later half talks about Parshuram's. This is an episode where the two incarnations are meeting on the Dushta Jamadavan Shakti, the Shakta Vishaktar Parshuram, and then the Supreme Lord Ram. But again, Lord Ram easily defeated. And basically is a big description in Valmiki Ramayana. And after that, Parshuram kind of retired from all of these things. Any other comments, additions, or questions anyone has before we pause for today?
Yes, Prabhu, it's very interesting to see that we just read in the last chapter that Lord Ram comes in the dynasty of Raghu, whose father is Katvanga. And then before that is just 3-4 generations before is the Nari Kavacha, the Kshatriya who is a Mulaka. And he was saved from Lord Parshuram's wrath because he was protected by women on all sides. Just an interesting fact I wanted to bring out. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing. It's very thoughtful. Okay, so we will pause here. Today is also the disappearance day of two great acharyas, Shri Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj and Shri Raghunandan Thakur. This is the disappearance day of these two great acharyas. So we can pray so that we can follow in the footsteps of these great Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas and always keep Lord Ram as the center of our lives, and Srila Prabhupada's Seva, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Radha Krishna's Seva is the core goal of our life. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu ki jai, Śrī Radha Krishna ki jai, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Bhagavatam ki jai, Śrī Râmacandra Bhagwan ki jai, Śrī Parshuram ki jai, Śrī Raghunandan Thakur Tirobhav Divas ki jai, Śrī Tulsidas Baba ji Tirobhav Divas ki jai, Śrī Gurudev ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta ki jai, Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Hare Krishna, thank you so
Hare Krishna,
much.
Prabhuji. Thank you so
Hare
much. Thank
Krishna,
you so
Prabhuji.
much. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.